Hello Internet. So today I've decided to make a little video of my home network and my server rack, my home office. I always love watching videos on YouTube that other people posting their home network setups and stuff like that. I always enjoy those videos, and I hope you enjoy watching this video. So I'm gonna start off with this little guy. This is the older Linksys wireless router. I use it for mainly for guests. Um, Whenever someone comes over and hey, what's your wireless? I usually point them to this, which is this sits on a completely separate network, and that has no access to my internal network at all. I also put like stuff my cell phone and uh, other wireless devices to this network, um, so it doesn't have any access on my home network. Try to keep it safe. Over here we have very top is my 8 port um, triplet and KVM. Um, this thing is okay. I mean, it works. It does the job. Gets the job done. Uh, I like it. I was thinking about selling it, but figured instead of hooking up my servers to that monitor, I'll just keep it. And um, at this point, right now, only have 2 servers connected to it, which is my ESXi 6 server and um, my Synology server, the much. Um, so yeah, I like it. It's alright. Over here, I have a older gigabit Cisco switch that distributes the network connectivity across the whole house. When I first bought my house, I had all the drywall ripped out, and I laid down the Cat 6 cables. Each room in the house has 2 drops, two ports, and it all comes to this switch. Right now, not all of it is populated. Some devices are off, some outlets are actually unplugged and not being used. I got this thing, the cable management, a little dusty, but got it off of eBay a few years back, and I like it. Keeps it nice and clean. Below, I have Cox modem, which I actually own. I purchased it. It works. Um, from this modem, the Cat 6 goes into a band switch. I actually have a residential plan, the toppest tier they have, which is I believe almost 200 megs down and about 25 to 30 megs up, which is enough. And with the Cox Ultimate, I can get about 3 DHCP IP addresses. That's why I have a switch in front of it, and I have 2 firewall. One is physical, which is underneath, and another one is virtual, which is in um, resides in the ESXi server. Um, the firewall is actually a WatchGuard flashed with OpenSense, which is a fork of pfSense. I like OpenSense. It has a nice, clean GUI without bloat. It's I like it more than pfSense. The only disadvantage of using OpenSense is it doesn't really yet. It doesn't really have any add-on support yet, but like plugin and stuff like that. But it works great and reliable. I like it. It also, as you can see, I'm using 5 ports, which is a WAN, LAN, DMZ, which I have a couple of web servers, as well as um, this is my guest network. Whenever someone asks me to fix their computer, I typically put it on the guest network so I don't um, plug into my network, and if it's infected, I don't want it on my network. So yeah, this thing also have it. I have a IPsec tunnel set up to my data center where I collocate my servers. Um, it so I can access it from my workstation just as it was on the local network, like this thing. That's pretty fast. I have upgraded like CPU, added more RAM. It works great. I also have um, open open VPN server running. My cell phone is always connected to my home open VPN server, and all of the traffic flows through open VPN. So I don't want T-Mobile snooping on me. And another reason is whenever you search for something, and now whenever you go to, for example, mydomain.com, and that domain isn't there, you'll notice that it actually shows like T-Mobile crap on there. So I don't want it. My phone is always on OpenVPN, and the traffic flows through my house to outside. Uh, Below that, I have Dell R6 PowerEdge R610. Um, this server, I love the servers. They're quiet, they're power efficient, very powerful. Has two Xeon quad cores. I believe it has 40 gigs of RAM or something like that. I have about 10 virtual machines running on it. One of which is um, one of which is the actual Synology NAS. Each of these drives are is actually about I think it's 500 gigs. It runs in RAID 10. They get like I don't remember. Yeah, I don't really use that NAS. It just sits there. Just didn't want to waste the 6 drives, and I created a VM. I also have Plex server on this as a VM. The actual media stored on the NAS below, which is a I'll come back to later. Um, I like Plex. I have the paid version. I paid like $80 or something for the lifetime license. Or yeah, I like it. I listen to music in the car over Bluetooth from my phone, and it works great. I also have, just like I said, a couple of web servers. Nothing big, just for myself. Um, I also have NZB indexing server running on here. It's kind of like torrent, but it's using news groups. I have um, a Windows 7 virtual machine as well. Unfortunately, some of the a lot of times you have to, you just cannot um, stay away from Windows, and you have to use Windows. For example, vCenter. Uh, they don't really have any good support for Linux. I mean, yeah, you can use Workstation, but VMware Workstation to manage the VMs, but you still need to log into vCenter through a web GUI or uh, vSphere client to create VMs. And so yeah, I have one. I'm for the most part I'm Linux. I would say 85, 90%. Um, I only use Windows for the main controllers, vCenter, and that just that one, Windows 7 VM. Hate Windows, love Linux, and unfortunately cannot get rid of it completely. Um, so below I have, it's a take a SNES, the worst NAS I ever had to deal with. I actually got this NAS from work. Um, it was used for about a month since the company bought it, and it crashed, and it basically had a bad experience with it. So I just brought it home and flashed it with Synology. Now it's the really good NAS. As long as it doesn't run Synology, I mean, I'm sorry, as long as it doesn't run Tickets software, um, it's an awesome hardware. Actually, powerful enough to run Windows 8. I think it has like 4 gigs of RAM. It has a single proc with like dual Intel duo or something. I don't remember. I have um, I have eight 2 terabyte drives. I'm slowly swapping them with a Western Digital 4 terabyte red drives. Right now, I think I only have four. Um, uh, so far, I have like 10 terabytes of storage. It's not a RAID 10. It's Synology, their own. It's kind of like ZFS type of, so I can lose at the same time to any of the two drives and still have a data safe. It does run full array encryption. So if I'll reboot it, I would have to enter a um, passphrase to remount it. Um, I always run. I use encryption everywhere and anywhere I can to protect myself. I don't know from if ever someone broke into my house and still did that, my data is still safe, and I think it's a smart thing to do. Um, yeah, this thing it also stores my virtual machines. Um, the NFS is mounted to ESXi for the storage, and that's where all the virtual machines are residing. Um, yeah, so this is it. That's why you keep saying that's why you see that self-testing because it's not original firmware or OS, I should say. Um, over here, I have my little toolbox to keep it a little bit organized. I have my crimping tools and screwdrivers and knives and my labeler, some spare tape, cassettes. These are I think SATA power cables that I got from one of my projects. Labor love this thing. This is the best labeler out there. Can create flags and wraps like that. It's awesome. As well as my um, cable testing tool, like this thing as well. It has I can test the Cat5, coax. I can even measure how long the cables are. It's a good tool to have. Below I have another WatchGuard firewall. I believe this one is flashed with pfSense. That I used to have it in my data center co-location, um, but I decided to save 1U worth of space and put it in virtual at the data center. Brought this one back home and it just sits there. I don't know if I'm ever gonna use it again or not. Below is the Intel older web server. I actually have a few of those in the garage. I just pulled this one out to reinstall OS on it and put it in the Craigslist or something. I don't really use it. I used to use it for my hosting company for shared hosting host server, so it just sits there doing nothing. Below that server is the another ticket. This one identical, except this one is SAS. I got it from work as well, Flash with Synology, and I use it for cold backup. So I would turn it on once a month and back up my this NAS into here and shut it back on. My biggest fear is the crypto bullshit that they have, and that's one of the reasons I'm doing it. I think this one has 1 terabyte SS drives. Yeah, it does the job. I'm so happy. I was so happy after I flashed it with Synology that the performance was awesome. I actually used to have a QNAP server and it performs like QNAP server. I put it in the data center. Below I have 4 more R610s. They all have ESXi on them, but I don't really use it. I don't really need them at the moment. Later on, maybe I'll put a couple of them at the data center. But right now, they're just filling the blanks in my rack. Below those servers, I have 2 APC UPSs, uh, JS, whatever. I don't know. I don't know. So these things are freaking awesome. I can run the whole rack without power for about 45 minutes. I'm actually getting ready to go somewhere, and my wife was getting ready and we lost power. And I pulled the extension cord to turn on a hair dryer for my wife so she can finish up putting her makeup and drying her hair, and it works great. I already had to replace. There's a couple screws you remove and you pull out the whole array. I think it has like a set of 5 batteries, and you just replace it and put it back in, hook it up, and it works again. Yeah, it also supports SNMP over the network. It has a network adapter in the back, which is actually plugged into my switch. And when the battery gets low, it sends the signal to my ESXi and my NAS, and it shuts it down properly. So yeah, this is my rack. I'm actually full sufficient when it comes to like email, DNS, and all that stuff. I don't use any of the Google um, or Microsoft or any other services. I have my own web server. I have my own mail servers. I have my own DNS server, public DNS server, as well as basically I'm fully relying on myself. I don't use any other services. I encrypt everything as much as I can and lock down everything as much as I can, as well as my network is. Um, I'm blocking all the inbound and outbound ports besides port 80, 443, 53, and some other ports that I'm actually, the rest of it is blocked. Nothing can go in or out. I also have another VPS um, in in Moscow, and I have OpenVPN tunnel goes to Moscow, and some of the devices are uh, all of the traffic flow goes through the Moscow VPS, such as my TV. Some of the servers are limited to kind of like Netflix, but Russian services are limited to Russian residents only. So I just VPN into my VPS and I set up a route from specific IP addresses that goes through Russian VPS, and it thinks it's physically in Moscow, but it's actually here in Southern California. So yeah, so so that's my network. Um, I also have another another wireless, which is right here in the hallway. This is Asus. I don't remember what the model of this thing, but this thing is great. It's the AC router. I use it only for as the access point if my camera can focus on it. There you go. This is a great router. I really like it. Um, so over here we have my sort of speak workbench. Whenever I have a server that I need to work on or a computer or anything, I just throw it on this desk and have the USB hub. I plug it in to the monitor as well as CD-ROM and the keyboard. Can open up and work on it. Over here I have my desk, um, HP printer, which is okay. I had it for about probably like 3 years. Works great. It's a laser, black and white. Um, my laptop is Asus G 75BW gaming laptop. Run Arc Linux on it. Love my laptop. Had it wrapped in the carbon fiber. Love this thing. It actually outperforms my desktop. Um, it has a full hard drive encryption. Um, Dual SSD, Samsung Pro SSDs. I think 120 gigs each in RAID 0. Um, I don't really store data, so if one of them craps out, I don't really care if I lose anything. I do rsync backup to my NAS that I shared earlier. It actually boots very fast. It actually beats when my co-worker, we had a race with his Chromebooks, boots faster than Chromebook. Right now I can really show it to you because it runs an encryption, and it uh, purposely takes so longer um, to boot. So yeah, I love my thing. My Cisco phone, which I have a Elastic server running in the data center, and this way I have my phones here. Um, Here's my 6 monitors. Well, I've been running Windows 7 on my desk workstation, and that was the only reason I had Windows 7 installed, because 6 monitors. Right now, I just installed Arch Linux on it, and I'm having trouble making all monitors work. It's in progress. So, um, just got a new Logitech mouse. Love this thing. My workstation I built it about 3-4 years ago. It's a bit dusty and dirty. Has a lot of mileage on it, but it does the job. It has the Intel i7 quad core, 12 gigs of RAM, two AMD cards. I don't know, those are older. I had three NVIDIA, but NVIDIA's not very friendly with Linux, so I put my old AMD cards. Um, and the motherboard is the I think it's Rampage Extreme 3, as well as Corsair water coolant. It's very dirty. I need to just pull it out and dust it and wash it. I'm actually thinking of replacing the case, putting something newer, but does the job. The only my only complaint, it takes forever for the BIOS to post. Other than that, it works great. So yeah, this is my home office.